So the science of stopping junk food cravings once and for all. So Gary Taubes, best-selling author, giving some incorrect information once again, and here's exactly why. He says that eating, let's say, bread and pasta, these kinds of foods, the reason you crave them is because they increase insulin, and that increases the craving for carbohydrate-rich foods. Now let me explain why this is wrong. So let's start off with drugs as an example here. So take cocaine for example. It stimulates the dopamine signaling pathways in the brain. Dopamine is basically a chemical that motivates us. And this dopamine signaling pathway actually determines our level of motivation, and people call this a craving. So when you take a drug, it increases the levels of dopamine, and thereafter you're really motivated to take it again. And another way to put it, this is called reinforcement. So to put this in simple terms that you can understand, again, for example, sex, video games, gambling, all these things are addictive behaviors, right? So, for example, when you first play a video game, you're not really that into it, then again and again, then you become more and more motivated to do it again. Here's the good thing, and here's where it starts getting into the food now. I'm relating it back to food. When you slowly take this, let's say, food out or something like that, your craving for it will slowly subside until it is there in front of you again, which is a cue. So for example, let's say you haven't eaten chocolate or something like that in a very, very long period of time. Now, let's say it's been a month and I put a chocolate right in front of you. It's gonna actually activate the same pathways that it did before, therefore again increasing your motivation to eat that chocolate. Or in other words, increase your craving for it. So there you have it. That's why the statement that Gary Taubes made is completely incorrect, because if you think about it, I don't think gambling, sex or video games is mediated by insulin release, right? It's all about the dopamine getting spiked. So food reinforcement occurs primarily when, if I can say that, when fat, carbohydrate and protein are detected in the upper intestine, which then means spiking the brain dopamine levels. So again, if insulin was the bad guy, then why is insulin responsible for spiking brain dopamine levels, when we know that when we consume a lot of fat doesn't actually increase insulin levels much at all. And one thing we know, fat is also highly reinforcing. And once again, Gary Taubes doesn't tell his readers this. So when we eat food, we need to realize the brain analyzes its composition via the receptors through the upper small intestine, and the liver measures the amount of fat, starch, protein, sugar and salt, all these properties. And by the way, this all happens on a non-conscious level. So what happens now is that when you eat this food and your brain really likes it, right? So let's say for example pizza or something like this, it really increases dopamine levels a lot more, and when that happens it also increases your craving for it, right? So that's why most of us actually crave a lot of pizza. So this is also why you don't crave spinach, celery, or let's say iceberg lettuce. So again, relating back to the chocolate situation, let's say you have a problem food in front of you, so any particular food that you like, and you've gone out to dinner, you haven't had that food for a very long period of time with your friends or someone. Then once you get at the dinner table, you have your meal, and then let's say on a dessert, something you haven't had for a long time, let's say chocolate, ice cream or something like that. Now once that is put in front of you, even if you're not even having it, when your friend is having it, those craving pathways that you had before for it will be reactivated again, and therefore the cravings will increase. And again, no insulin is required for this. And one thing that's very important is that different people find different foods addictive. For example, some people might find high-fat, savory foods more addictive, and other people might find high-fat, sweet foods more addictive. So again, you're probably asking the question, okay, so carbohydrate-rich foods aren't like the bad guys here, but maybe the fat-rich foods are the bad guys here. But here's the thing, again, like I said before, when it comes to high-calorie dense foods, that's what really kept our ancestors alive, so that's what we seek most often. So then I guess the big question becomes, why are some people like, let's say, carboholics or fataholics? Why do some people like more carbs or more fats? Well, here's the deal. Like I said before, our brain is motivated to eat more calorie dense foods containing fat, starch, protein, sugar and salt. So there it is. That's basically how you stop your cravings for eating junk food. Now again, it's going to be really hard when you first start, because you know you've been craving for a long period of time, but once you cut it out, you're going to slowly, like less and less, decrease it, if only it's not in your sight. So step number 2 is just clear your food environment, and I've said this loads and loads of times, do not have this food queue around you. Again, let's say another example, if someone stops smoking, even if this is you right now and you start smoking, just by me saying smoking, this is still a cue, this is still a sensory input for you. So that is it's really going to impact your ability now to not crave it. So again, let's say you cut out potato chips or something like that, and someone's put a potato chip in front of you. Again, craving increase, it reactivates the dopamine pathway. So that's exactly how to stop food cravings. I don't know why I just did that, but that's exactly the science explained of it. It's not the insulin release, because again, why do some people are more attracted to high fat savory foods? And again, fat doesn't increase insulin levels much at all. So again, I'm not shitting on Gary Taubes here, even though some or a lot of his information is incorrect. But yeah, this video is more to help you. So to get rid of junk food, again, to summarize, do this: clear your food environment, clear your food cues, and just do it, man. Again, it's not all about motivation, right? It's more about your food environment. So plan accordingly. If you're gonna go out for dinner, maybe just have some calories left during the day so you can have that food that you crave. But again, it probably will reactivate those dopamine pathways, increasing your craving for it later. So that's that. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, again, online coaching now available if that's something you'd be interested in. I'm not accepting anyone and everyone. I'm screening you first, by the way, because I don't want clients or anything like that are not motivated and dedicated. So if that's you, send an email to knightondane@gmail.com, and that's it, man. Let's get it. Stay positive, stay smiling, stop eating junk food now, man. Clear your food environment, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.